Welcome back. Terrell here. We're going to be covering the last and final episode of season 1 of Peacemaker, not Peacekeeper, Peacemaker. The finale on this incredible episode. Now, if you watched our last episode, we picks up and we found out what they show us with the cow, and holy shit, they show us what the cow is, and they leave us on a cliffhanger after that episode. Now, this episode really asks us, do you really want to taste it? And this episode lets you taste it so extremely well. I've never seen a finale done so well for a show in so long. And Peacemaker James Gunn gets it right the very first time. So with this episode, like I said, they pick up, and the gang pretty much are, they have a plan to take out the butterflies and stop them from warping the cow off to whatever planet they're about to take over next, or whatever they're gonna do. And the big plan is that they're gonna use Peacemaker's helmet, the sonic boom helmet, to try to take all of them out and destroy their only exit out of this. This episode is freaking hilarious. Eagly, I would say steals the show, but he definitely has an incredible moment in the show here where he's just, being Eagly, doesn't want to do what, he doesn't listen to anybody, doesn't want to do what he wants to do. He wants to do what he wants to do. And he picks up Peacemaker's helmet, which they needed him to drop on top of the roof of the building, and he just drops it in the middle of the freaking forest. And that's freaking hilarious. And this episode really shows that Peacemaker Chris is still struggling, right after the loss of his dad, killing his dad, and them pretty much explaining, like, look, the damage is still done. His father that made him into the killer, the person that he wanted him to be. And for so long, they showed that he is dealing with the after effects of, accidentally killing his brother. And, they show why he vowed to want to have this peace. Like, he wants to never have that happen to what happened to him happen to anybody else again. So in his mind, he is definitely a superhero in his mind. Like, he's been saying it from the beginning of the show, like, he's a superhero, but everybody else views him as a villain because of the way he does things. And I think that you could say, like, by the end of this show, by the end of this first season, you could definitely see him as a character that will eventually turn and become a hero. Even though he's still going around just killing people, which heroes don't do. But this episode does show him redeem himself in a lot of different ways. Now, this episode also has a big major fight in the middle of a field against the butterflies, what I thought was incredibly shot. Peacemaker and Harcourt are wrecking shop, killing every single butterfly that you see. Finally, you get to see Peacemaker, which is one of the things I complain about, really use his gun. I feel like for whatever reason, he just never had the opportunity to use it. You didn't really get to see him use it in Suicide Squad, since Suicide Squad, and like I said, you didn't really get to see him use it in this as much. Like, they just really wanted him to do more hand-to-hand combat, but it's cool. Like, I thought it was still good. They really wreck shop, knives. Peacemaker has a shield that he's using to decapitate people, and I swear to you, it looks like he has super strength. I know he doesn't have powers, but you cannot tell me otherwise. This guy does not have super strength, because there's no way in the world he should be tossing people like that in this freaking show. Adebayo has a change of heart. You see her really, really want to, like, help out the team, even though because this starts off with them, picking up that she betrayed Peacemaker by trying to plant that diary to make them take the fall for this whole evasion thing. And that was the plan, pretty much, have him do the mission and then have him set up the fall, have him go back to Belle Reve, whatever the case may be, and start this whole process again. But she doesn't really want to do what her mom is telling her to do, who is Amanda Waller, which they revealed. And like, she's not feeling it. With, like I said, back to the butterflies, though, they are able to like fight every single one of these, and they show that Harcourt is about to die because she got shot. And, you die when you're shot, and she's about to die. And you see the leader butterfly, I can't think of the name at the moment, but he tries to, one of them try to hurry up and try to uh, go inside of Hardcore to take control of her, but Adebayo comes in, saves the day, uses her training that she's been talking about since day one, and wrecks freaking shop on everybody, like headshots, just ricocheting bullets. She had an incredible freaking moment in the show, and I really wish they had shown more of this, like, because a lot of it was like her just kind of hesitation to use what she's learned to, like, she doesn't really want to kill anybody, but she ain't had no problem doing it in this episode. um you see Vigilante do his thing. He is incredible with a knife. Like, he like the stuff he does, like, this guy is self-taught, man. He has like is able to throw a knife with precision, shoot people with precision. I need a Vigilante spinoff. That's what I need. I need more stuff with him, because this guy, he steals the show from start to finish. And like I said, he has a lot of incredible moments from episode 1 to till now. And I need a Vigilante spinoff. So with this episode, we see that they use the sonic boom helmet, they crash everything down, and Detective Song, who's been taken over by a butterfly, tries to convince Peacemaker Peacemaker to join her side and help them get the cow off planet so that they can maintain peace, because that was the whole deal that they were trying to sell to Murr and of course Judo Master, was that they were trying to maintain peace and kind of regulate the earth so that they weren't going around destroying each other like they have on other planets that these butterflies have been to and stuff like that. And for a second there, the Peacemaker looked like he was about to he wanted to take the deal, but it was a no-go. So that this was the moment where you see him really show up for his friends or his co-workers, friends, and really do his thing and take the rest of the butterflies out. And pretty much in that process, loses any opportunity they had to try to get off Earth. This is the remaining of the butterflies they had left. This episode, like I said, was freaking amazing. It's really, man, it's just so much that you could do with this, like with this show, and what DC could do with a lot of these shows. Just zoning in and focusing on characters that normally wouldn't get the light. So like I said, that's really, really good show. What I didn't expect is for James Gunn to somehow get members of the Justice League to show up last minute after all the work was done. So they were able to bring in Barry, Ezra Miller, and Jason Momoa, who plays Aquaman, into the show, and they showed like the silhouette of like Wonder Woman and Superman, but they don't have the actors. Apparently, whatever happened with that, they didn't come in. So take what you can get, right? It's just cool that they took the time to even put that in there. But nobody expected that. Nobody expected Flash and Aquaman to come in and do that appearance. Now, I do have a lot of questions as to what happens, because this ends pretty much with Adebayo revealing her mom and Task Force X and the inhumane practices and stuff like that. I wonder how that affects the story going forward. With this, if they decide, because they are doing a season 2, so I wonder how this is going to play out. So with no longer, if there isn't a Task Force X, or they just rebrand, how they're going to be able to do this going forward. Now, my question is, now we also know that Flash is going to be doing the Flashpoint movie, which is pretty much going to be erasing a lot of the progress that we've seen made through these movies from Man of Steel up until now, because this is the same universe. So I wonder how Flashpoint will affect Peacemaker and everything going forward. Like I said, a lot of stuff changes at the end of the show, and like I said, they already greenlit it for season 2, and supposedly there's going to be a character that's going to get a spinoff, but we don't know who yet. So I'm hoping to see more of this. Like I said, just overall, just the whole show from episode 1 to 8. Honestly, didn't know how I was going to like this show, and this was something that caught me from episode 1. And like I said, John Cena, he just oozes charisma, and a lot like The Rock, he's able to just steal a role, and all you can see is that character as him at that point. Peacemaker is forever going to be John Cena, and John Cena is going to be Peacemaker. And I hope that he definitely gets to continue doing more of these because he is really amazing. The cast of the show was really freaking amazing. They did a really good job. Some top-notch actors. Freddie Stromer, who came in last minute, like we said in previous episode before, he came in and took over the role, and he did an incredible job. And I honestly cannot see anybody else playing Vigilante now other than Freddie. Economos, that actor, he did a really good job, even though he tripped over the freaking gate and busted his leg up. Guy's useless. But he has a lot of good moments, and we finally found out that he does indeed dye his beard. So he'd been talking about he didn't. He does. He dyes his beard, and he admits that after being under pressure from one of the butterflies. But like I said, this was an incredible show. I cannot wait to get a season 2. This was some good TV right here, man. This is a point of television where they're on movie quality. They're putting movie quality into television now, and HBO Max is killing it, man. It's not nothing on HBO Max that you don't want to watch right now. If you say they never don't watch on HBO Max, you're lying, because Peacemaker is a good example of doing a spinoff of a movie and expanding a lot like what Disney is doing, expanding on that already existing world, even though they about to reset it with Flashpoint. So like I said, this was an incredible show start to finish. This is an A+ for me. I definitely want to go back and watch it again. I want to go back and watch Suicide Squad again. I mean, I already like that movie, but I definitely want to go back and watch this again. This was an incredible watch. I highly recommend you guys watch. If you've been following this review, me and Damien, highly go back and rewatch it with, watch our episodes too. But rewatch the show, rewatch Suicide Squad. And like I said, we getting, this show was so good, we getting a season 2. So there's a lot of like, just where does this go from here? Which is my biggest question. Where does this go from here? How do we set this up with the Flashpoint stuff about to happen with Aquaman? And where does Peacemaker and now the Suicide Squad Task Force X doesn't exist anymore. I guess Task Force X doesn't exist anymore. Like I said, maybe they'll rebrand, but I wonder where they'll go from here after that big reveal in Amanda Waller and of course her daughter out there. And of course, hardcore survived. So if you heard me say earlier, she died. She did not die. She survived. Peacemaker carried her back to the hospital, and she is back up and she's going through recovery. But I definitely want to see her come back. She is incredible. Like she had a lot of like action scenes throughout the show. She was definitely incredible. But like I said, the entire ensemble cast was amazing. This show was, like I said, an A+ for me. This episode was amazing. This is definitely worth a rewatch. HBO Max is freaking amazing. You need to be spending your money on HBO Max because they got everything. And I can't wait to see more content from them to come and more stuff from James Gunn with his Guardians and more stuff. Like I said, anything that his name's going to be attached to now, I'm down for it 100%. And John Cena. So again, this has been the review for episode 8 of Peacemaker, not Peacekeeper, Peacemaker. And this has been Terrell doing this review. Hopefully we can, like I said, we get a season 2. Me, Damien, and the crew will be back, and we'll cover everything else for you again. But like I said, leave a comment in here for us. Let us know what you think about the review. If your thoughts are the same as ours, and let me know what you want to see going forward with the show. Leave that in the comments, and we're interacting everything with you. But on that note, this has been the Peacemaker episode 8 review. And Terrell, see you guys later. Peace.
Big gold bell.